8 interviews Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then we close out the week with the after party on Friday. Our last candidate for this morning. Full disclosure, she's actually my cousin, so we'll bring on Sandra Reyes Seau, candidate on the Republican side for senator. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on here this morning.
Sandra, we're
How
just...
come I can't see you guys?
Yeah, you'd have to watch us on Facebook, I
Right,
think, in order to see us. But I know, Chris, you guys are related, but I don't know you. So tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay. For those who don't know me, I'm gonna tell you guys about myself. My name is Sandra Reyes Seau. I'm originally from Mauricio. My parents are Manuel Flores Reyes and Irene Nicholas Reyes. I was born here on Guam, but due to my father being in the military, I've lived in many places in the world. I mostly grew up in Alabama and Tennessee. My adult life was in Alaska till 8 years ago when I came to Guam. Hold on just a second. My education, I attended Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee. I was pursuing a degree in criminal justice. And of course, being young, I ended up getting married and going the corporate route. I earned my way up in the jobs that I worked in. I was mainly in banking and retail, always in supervisory and management positions since I was 20 years old. I worked for Wells Fargo Bank and the biggest company in the world, Sam's Club, which is a sister company to Walmart. 8 years ago, I moved here to Guam. I did work at Anderson Air Force Base. And then I've always done volunteer work ever since I could remember, back in Alaska, doing Habitat for Humanity, community beautification. And I volunteer a lot of my time due to having a son with coaching T-ball and being a den leader with the Boy Scouts of America. And in 2018, I got a job as being district executive for the Boy Scouts of America. I'm currently furloughed though, and which in a way is pretty good because campaigning is a lot of work.
Right. Sandra, so you work with the youth, right? So let's just go ahead and ask, what do you think are a few of the biggest issues facing the island's youth today?
Well, I noticed that, a lot of parents there's no discipline in a lot of kids. The parents let the kids do whatever they want, go in and out of the house, without, knowing where the kids are going. And, the parents, I feel, have to be more involved. I try to work with the schools and try to work with the villages, getting kids into the program because it is a really good program and it benefits kids after high school, and it helps guide these kids to, the Scouts' oath and belief of just being, and it's just the basics of what people, should grow up with, being honest and kind and courteous and all this great stuff. And when I visit these schools, kids get so excited. Some parents are willing to sign their kids up, but Boy Scouts is just like any other activity. You need volunteers to run the dens, the troops and stuff like that. And parents seem like, they don't want to get involved. I even have people willing to pay for every kid in the village to join, but the thing is we need volunteers to help guide these kids.
Right. So
And
Sandra,
it's pretty sad because yes.
I was going to ask you if you could just tell us what are some of the tell us about your platform, what you plan on doing if you're elected.
Definitely. um, I have a couple. Violent crimes against people, like family violence, murder, um, rape, all that great stuff. And recently, that was just brought up, is crimes against animals. So violent crimes. We need to support some of our agencies, like the police department, Department of Corrections, DUIs, the healthcare system, there's so many things. Guam has a lot of issues right now, like a lot, and being during this COVID time, it makes it harder. But we need to, our healthcare system. It's sad that people have to go off island to a third world country, because we don't have good medical here on island. And I'm working and looking into the Medical Arbitration Act. And my number one priority, these are the things I'm fighting for: transparency and accountability within all our agencies and ADALUP.
Right. And Sandra, let's go ahead and let's turn the corner on that, right? So I noticed that you have been critical of the administration. If elected to a seat of the next Guam legislature, what are some of the areas that you would use your authority as a senator to kind of look into the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration?
Well, in order to start for a better Guam, I feel that we have to work from the inside out. We need to start auditing, and I know there's been auditing going on, but we need to dig deep and audit all these agencies and audit ADALUP. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about public safety and drugs.
You said that was one of your priorities, to include violent crimes.
Yes. I am a victim of family violence, and I wanted to leave Guam because this island is really small, and no matter where you go, people, the people who get accused of crimes against people, they tend to continue to break their conditions of release without any recourse. And we have to start with the probation office. They need to start being held accountable. If these judges are going to sign off on conditions of release, they need to stick with it, because a victim has to deal with this every day of their life, and I feel that our government, our judicial system, they need to refocus their priorities, not just about protecting the rights of the people accused of crimes, but they need to work for the victims as well. And DUIs. It seems like our judicial system is more worried about material things than people's safety. And it's very disturbing. Every day, or just about every day, there is something in the news about family violence or, crimes against people. And it really needs to stop. People need to be held accountable for their actions,
So what would you do if elected, Sandra, to kind of send that message that, violence against women is just not going to be tolerated? Do you think that we need to maybe stiffen the penalties?
It's not just about violence. I'm sorry?
Do you think we need to go back and do anything to stiffen penalties or anything like that?
Yes, definitely. I talked to Major Uggan at DOC, and people who get found guilty or admit to guilt for the things that they've done about violence against people, nothing really happens. They get a slap on the wrist, and they're all about rehabilitation, which I am all about rehabilitation. But you know what? They could rehabilitate in prison. And I did like how Major Uggan did say, because me being a victim, he is ready to admit to guilt, but he can't because his lawyer is trying to drop the charges to assault. Because if he admits guilt to family violence, then he's supposedly deportable. If that's the case, and we're going to waste all this courtroom time, because I go to every hearing and those courtrooms are full. They drag this out. It shouldn't have to be months or years to settle a case. And before they press charges on a person, instead of wasting all this time in the courtroom trying to lessen the charges, then they need to check these people's citizenship status, if that's the case. These people, when I talked to Major Uggan, he says that, people get put in jail, and when their time is served, they get sent back. And, in a way that does make sense, because a victim doesn't want someone to just be shipped away and be free. They need to serve their crime committed against that person.
Sandra, we got
that does make sense.
Sorry, we got a minute left. If you could just give us your closing statement. Why should people vote Sandra Reyes Seau for senator?
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody who signed my petition, first of all, to let me have this opportunity to run. I am not a politician. I am a very concerned citizen who is tired of being upset and want to work for the people of our island. People who run for office should be running for the right reasons, and that's for the people of our island. So I do ask, please consider me in one of your 15 votes so I can, this really means a lot to me, because Guam could be such a better place for the people of our island, and not just the citizens, but the nationals that live here as well, because we all live on this island together. So if I could just get one of your 15 votes, it would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thanks, Sandra. Best of luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So just so everybody's clear, like the August 29th, 30th primary.
It's already started.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And almost all